Hi everyone, so just to get back to my story of what I posted earlier on, I would like to say that I don't judge anyone who seeks mental health support. I have been speaking to a psychologist, like I said, since 2016 when my father died, and earlier because in January 2016 I left the narc's sorry ass, finally had the courage to remove myself from a immature, dishonest, disgraceful real estate agent who calls himself a father and thinks that he can co-parent respectfully like a father. So I thought I was going crazy because he would gaslight me, he would treat me with disrespect and dishonesty, and one night he made me watch Gone Girl. Now, for those of you who have seen the movie or read the book, it's pretty deep. In brief, it's about a woman who tries to gain revenge on her partner who had been having an affair on her. So she goes through the events of actually taking money out and faking her own disappearance and trying to frame her husband, who was sleeping with one of his co-workers at the university, something or other. It's an American movie and it stars Ben Affleck, and he made me watch that one night. And he was looking at me while we were watching the movie, and he actually said to me, the narc, my son's father, he said, "Would you do that for me?" I looked at him and his eyes just lit up like there was this psychotic just disgrace in his eyes, and he said, "Would you kill yourself for me?" I looked at him, and that's when I knew, what the hell have I done? My son was only 3 months old, and I had fallen pregnant to a communal, narcissistic psychopath who owns his own real estate business, a vendor's advocate business, and declares an income of $7,000 per annum. I'm telling you this because we all need to seek mental health support, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when you're framed to make out to have a mental illness so your son can be taken away from you, that is a disgrace. When you are made to feel inadequate, like you are going crazy, that is called gaslighting. It's called domestic abuse. It's called domestic violence, and it is illegal in the world and in this country. You want to seek mental health support, by all means, please do. But don't tell or don't get these professionals to tell you that you have a mental illness when you don't. I have raised a healthy and happy, well-adjusted boy to the age of 8. When he comes home and says to me that his dad wants to see his mother dead, and calmly I say to my son, "Why would your dad say that? Do you know, darling? It's because you get to see me more often than daddy does." So the moral of the story is, I should never have been in a relationship, first of all, or trusted a narcissistic psychopath. Well, he's a communal narcissist, and he's very clever at that. I'm coming on because I just want to confirm that, again, it's not a crime to seek mental health support, and some of us need it, but be careful who your practitioner is. Now, I have sought mental health support because my father passed away in 2016, like I mentioned in my earlier video, and he used that against me in the family court to suggest that I cannot raise a healthy and happy, well-adjusted boy. A little bit about my background, for those who don't know me. I have won a number of Australian scholarships, primarily in classical ballet and performing arts and musical theatre. I've associated with people within the musical theatre industry. I have met the likes of David Campbell. I have worked with a high-profile fitness enthusiast and who's written 6 books, Donna Aston, and she is amazing. I have associated with people who I admire and who are success in my eyes and who I aspire to be like. And I encourage people. I have encouraged people my entire life. I'm the oldest of 8 grandchildren. I worked at Maya Melbourne for 5 years. I am the oldest of 8 grandchildren because I was the first to get out there and spread the Christmas cheer and spend all of my wages. I would save my wages, and I was only working part-time at Maya because I was studying business, travel and tourism when I finished high school, and then gained employment within aviation. So I was a flight attendant. I managed pilot training and recruitment for Qantas. I worked closely with the Civil Aviation Safety Authority to manage pilots licensing for Qantas. I was a emergency procedures training for flight attendants for a number of years as well. I was a flight attendant, and I went on to succeed in a lot of my endeavors my entire life. I'm getting to this because another communal narcissist was my mother, who told me that I would not be a flight attendant, who told me that I would not get the job at Maya at the age of 18 when I finished high school, who told me I could not manage a recruitment team of 10 people when I was only 22 years of age at Maya Melbourne once again. My mother told me that I should not be an entrepreneur or a career woman or impart any of my education or ideas onto anyone else because I would never amount to anything. Well, the communal narcissist that I know in my mother, I met in my son's father. But prior, I also had a relationship that was very toxic. Another broken soul who needs a lot of healing. So this communal narcissist who, yes, declares an income of $7,000 a year and owns his own vendor's advocate business, one night actually took my car. He wanted me to drive to his friend's house because he had plans. So his plans were to accidentally, on purpose, lose his credit card when he was buying wine to attend his friend Andrew's house for a dinner, an evening. My son was only 3 months old. Andrew, his work colleague, actually brings out a cask of wine that his parents had apparently. And they poured the glasses, but no one was drinking out of the glass. I had a couple of sips and thought something was on here. Anyway, the narc took my car and said that he'll be back soon. He just had to retrace his steps so he could find his credit card. He came back an hour later. When I got in my car, there was grease and oil on my steering wheel, and my seat had been moved and there was grease and oil on my dash. I didn't think anything much of it until the years go by, and I think, well, I'm having conversations with certain people in my car. How does he know, and how would he know where I am and where my movements are? Only recently, a couple of days ago, I called him and asked him to pass the phone to my son so I could speak to him. It was his drama concert, and I wanted to make sure that he had fun at the drama concert because he wouldn't allow me to see my own son at his own school concert afterwards and take a photo with my son and his trophy. He wouldn't answer the phone, so, well, he did answer the phone, but he didn't pass the phone to my son. But as he was saying hello, I could hear my nieces and nephews in the background and my mother's voice. and it sounded like a concrete home. So I got in my car from my house and drove literally 3 minutes to my sister's house, where I thought they would all be congregating. There was no one in my sister's street. My sister walks out of her home on the phone. As I wind my window down, she's on the phone to the narc saying, yes, she's in my street in front of my house. Surveillance is a crime, you narcissistic psychopath. I'm getting on here because I need to tell my story, because enough is enough, because I'm done keeping my mouth shut and seeing him destroy my son's future. It is my son's future because my friends are influential. The people who have been in my life for 30 plus years know me, know my character, know my work ethic, know my personality. I bought Christmas presents for all of my uncles and aunties, all of my cousins. The first year, I was only 19 years old when I spent over $1,000, 30 years ago, almost 30 years ago, to give generously to my family, because that's what my parents did. That's what my father did. He would hold barbecues and dinners and lasagna evenings with his brothers and sisters and all of my cousins, and the girls will be watching Young Talent Time in one room and the boys will be watching football or Hey It's Saturday. And they're the memories that I want to create for my son. But this communal narcissist has taken away my right to be an auntie and lied about me to my own mother, who is suffering from depression. Another communal narcissist who was abused by her father just gets married to escape her father. And my parents didn't have a great relationship. My father just wanted affection. My mother was forced into a lot of things. They shouldn't have been married, and they were wrong for each other. Why am I telling you all of this? It's because the father of my son wants you to believe that I am mentally unwell to look after my own son. But I'm mentally stable to look after him on New Year's Eve and half of the school holidays when he has other plans and he needs to work. And I am mentally well enough to work so I can give him child support payments, because the narcissistic psychopath, the immature, dishonest, disrespectful disgrace, who calls himself a father, declares an income of $7,000 a year. The Federal Family Circuit Court of Victoria needs to do their due diligence when they are going through evidence and proof, and when they are looking at the facts of how women are manipulated within the family court. An already biased judge, a paid barrister and a magistrate, a dishonest, unethical report writer, psychologist who is well known within the family court, is paid to lie about a woman's mental health so they can take her healthy and well-adjusted child away from her, who she has raised in a healthy environment, working full-time, gaining a career, creating a business, and building a life in the face of the abuse, the constant financial emotional and psychological abuse, and the constant surveillance. So here it is again. Waratah Clinic, the Royal Children's Hospital, leave 1, 2, the Royal Melbourne Hospital, sorry, not the Royal Children's, 3, 4, 5 cards, 6 cards, 7 cards, 8 cards underneath my doorstep, and then they send a CAT team to do a welfare check on a single woman trying to break into her house at 11:30 p.m. on a Wednesday evening, and ask me to call them or else they will keep coming over. Here we go. He has friends who work at Victoria Police. I have named them and I have sent through reports through IBAC. I'm telling my story because my son comes home and tells me that his daddy wants to see his mother dead. So I'm taking a stand for women out there who have been abused, who are navigating through the family court system. Stay out of it. Don't attend. Don't pay lawyers. Don't pay judges. Do not pay bias barristers who manipulate everything. So, early signs. Again, I only came on here to tell you that gaining mental health support is not the problem. It's the authorities and the people in positions of authority who take advantage of individuals and manipulate the systems to work unethically, who are destroying the future of these children, who are destroying and enabling narcissistic, communal narcissists, so they're not out there. They try to keep a low key. And I will be unveiling the individuals who enable these communal narcissists to lie about my health and my well-being, because enough's enough. He has spoken to employers about me. He has lied to my siblings. I have tried to protect his name for the sake of my son. And moving forward, if we were going to co-parent with respect, I wanted my family to trust him. That's why I have kept quiet for 10 years. Enough's enough now. He has infiltrated my workplaces. He's gone into disgrace my name to individuals that should know better and should know me. I've known people and helped people my entire life. I've been teaching Pilates since 2008. I have worked in aviation. I have worked with major airlines in this country, and I have built a reputation that will not be tarnished by one narcissistic liar who declares an income of $7,000 per annum. I left him because he was screwing his ex-girlfriend, Michaela Glua, while I was breastfeeding my son in his house. He wanted me to pay him $5 a week to live with him, so I could see that I was paying rent. So this person is broken. He is paranoid, he's schizophrenic, and he is delusional. And he has tried to turn it all around on me, telling me that I made up 10 years of domestic violence, of financial, emotional, and psychological abuse. So going back to attending dinner at his friend Andrew's, one night I had half a glass of red wine. A few hours later we got home and I was vomiting every 15 minutes on his toilet floor for an hour and a half. Well, he was holding my son and he saw me just watching me vomit without even getting me a glass of water. When I asked him for a towel, he just looked at me and walked away, holding my son in his arms. I fell asleep on the cold tiles. It was a hot night anyway, so I fell asleep on the cold tiles and crawled to the next bedroom so I could lay on a soft bed hours later. Everything that he has done to me will be unveiled. And Micela, you need to be watching this because I'm done with you too. Melissa, I hope you hang around after this because I don't want him in my life, and you know that he continuously keeps me under surveillance. So I'm done. The phone hacking, the social media hacks, the surveillance on my car that is not in a garage needs to stop. Surveillance is a crime in this country. I'm getting on this live platform because I've had enough. The truth will be told. I will be publishing my truth. I will be publishing this book. So you cannot stop the truth from coming out. You lie about me so everyone can hate you. I used to lie about you so people could like you. We're not the same. And I'm done staying silent. Victoria Police and CENTERLINK, individuals in authority figures, they need to step up as well. I will be going through and communicating my book, and it will be published. So the interception of speaking to my publicist and assessor and the individuals and the support networks who know me, who respect me, and who will be supporting me will no longer tolerate your gaslighting, your dishonesty and disrespect to denigrate my name. Enough's enough, you communal narcissistic psychopath. And the enablers who are enabling and believing his lies, you will have your day. Justice will prevail and I will get the truth out. Thanks for listening. Continue watching. My YouTube channel will not upload because he's very tech savvy. He says he wasn't, but he is, and he sets up fake profiles. So he also sets up fake accounts on dating websites. So to keep me in my little box so I don't trust anyone on social media or dating websites to actually go on a date with. And then he tells my family that, I'm not in a relationship, so there's something wrong with me because I am not in a relationship because I see through the dishonesty of individuals straight away. You're looking at this and you can judge all you like. I have spoken to hundreds of women around the world who have researched and been in relationships like this, who have thought that they were the ones that were going crazy, who have kept the peace, who have kept the peace within their family. And people need to heal all around the world. People need to look at themselves and heal their minds and their bodies. They need to heal so they don't become ill as they become older. My mother and her siblings were abused by my grandfather, and I will end this generational pain because enough is enough. My mother portrayed her abuse onto me. It was abuse. She's a communal narcissist. my aunties who were neglected as children. Thank God I had my father who was my rock, and my world fell apart when he passed away in July 2016. But those who know me know that my father was ill for 20 years. When he had his second brain tumor operation, I knew that something was going to be lost. And it was my father's independence, my father's right to be a father, to be a man, to be the rock of his children's lives and my life. But I'm the oldest, and thankfully, I knew the love of my father until the age of 22 years of age. Thankfully, I had my father's love and respect. And he tried. He really tried. And he did adore my mother. He loved my mother. But she was challenged. And that's when abuse set in, because my father was forceful onto my mother. Two wrongs never make a right. Generations need to heal. Abuse and narcissism needs to stop to protect the children, sons and daughters, and the communities. Enough is enough. I'm getting on here because I am sick and tired of dealing with the day-to-day shit of this communal narcissist who still enlists the report writer, a psychologist who lied about my mental health in the family court, to take my son away from me. He sends me an email today after a year and a half wanting money. So he diagnosed me with a delusional disorder, which means people with delusional disorders cannot work, cannot function in life. They don't have mortgages. They don't they're socially inept. They, apparently they're paranoid, and they have a number of psychological challenges. I have never been delusional or disordered. I have a mortgage. I own my own property within inner Melbourne. I have held full-time work for 30 years, since I was 21 years old. I have a number of university degrees. I have also won Australian Commonwealth scholarships within dance, performing arts. I have an advanced diploma in Pilates instruction. I've studied anatomy and physiology. I'm a healer, and I see the truth and the pain in individuals and the fear. I am a human truth detector. My sister needs to heal as well. She has narcissistic tendencies, and it's a survival mechanism. She believes that everyone is, that I am some kind of monster because I didn't support her when I was trying to deal with my own relationship with my mother. So I became a flight attendant to get away from my mother, so I could sleep away from my mother's pain and neglectful energy of telling me that I couldn't do anything. My mother's jealousy, wanting to get rid of me because my father supported and treated me like an adult and loved me. And my mother was jealous of my relationship with my father because she never received the love and support from her father that she desperately needed and that she didn't get until his dying day, when I believe he actually apologized to her. It's too late. Start today. Start healing, start moving on, and start seeing the truth to let go. I am unsilenced. It's taken me 9 years to get here, to see the truth, to see the disrespect. And I'm coming through because he found out where I'm currently working again, where I have been working for the last 12 months. Because he wants to financially burden me. He is using financial abuse now to remove or try to remove my son away from my care because he wants to move to the other side of the city. He wants to take my son away from the life that I built with his cousins, with my friends, with some reputable individuals who I've had to let go of because they are enabling my brother-in-law, an accountant, and his wife, my sister, to discredit my reputation and my name. For what reason, I don't know, and probably will never know, because they are gaslighting me as well. They're keeping me away from my nieces and nephews, and they won't have an adult conversation with me to say, Joe, you've done this and this and this. What the hell? Or why the hell would you have said or done whatever it is you've said or done? But no, they can't have a mature conversation because I've done nothing wrong. So I've also since found out that my son's father, the narc, works within my family. My dad's family are very independent and comfortable in their lifestyles, and not 1 ounce of support within my life when my father passed away. The condolences were there, the offers were there. If you need anything, just call. What the hell? 300 people at my father's funeral, and not one person follows up on his oldest daughter, who was then only 41 years of age, or his other children, to see if they were okay. Now, you may be listening to this, you may have enough of my rants and raves, but I am on this platform to express my truth and share my experiences so you can protect your children, nieces, nephews, the future of the next generation and the communities. Stay away from the family court, stay away from lawyers, stay away from corrupt barristers and already biased judges. Enough's enough. The truth will be unveiled, and I will be publishing my book. You cannot do anything to stop me. Thanks for listening. I appreciate your like and share, and anything that you can do to share my education, because it is education. It's not a story. They're all factual truths, and the truth will be revealed about senior authoritative psychologists, single person, one person experts who create their own rules and regulations about children and the future of these impressionable children who have been raised in a healthy and well-adjusted environment in the face of navigating communal narcissists like my son's father, who needs healing, who needs to be stopped. And if you're listening, surveillance is illegal.